Hi, welcome back to the Historic Nerd. Many of us in our daily lives are bombarded with all kinds of advertisements. Radio, TV advertisements, billboards, but even video games are guilty of being an advertisement place. These range from completely unsubtle to games like Cool Spot advertising 7-Up to the entirely subtle of Sonic 2 advertising shoes.
Cops battle. To John Chu Public, I say the scene is awful. Carnage, mayhem, despair, anarchy. The cool spots have been kidnapped, and only one spot is left to save his cohorts. He'll need your help. Make no mistake, you'll encounter crabs wearing underwear, demented cheese-slinging pajama mice, teeth with no head. But remember, that little cool spot is out there somewhere. You may be all he's got.
System and game sold separately.
Video games being associated with a commercial product is not a new occurrence. Even the Atari 2600 had a title on it called Chase Chuckwagon associated with the dog food. And the only way you could get that game was by purchasing the dog food, sending in a proof of purchase, and then they would then in turn send you a copy of the game. About dog food.
Chuckwagon brand dog food from Purina. The great gravy taste dogs love to chase.
The 80s and early 90s was a golden age of product-themed games. There was a large variety of these games for almost any number of products, ranging from soft drinks to fast food chains. There are tons of these games, and a lot of them revolve around the mascots of particular fast food chains or the product line. Like the Kool-Aid Man had a video game, Chester Cheetah for Cheetos had one, and even Domino's with the Noid. That crazy son of a bitch.
It's a wicked wizard who makes pizzas old and cold. And now he's off to meet his greatest challenge, the magic of hot, fresh Domino's pizza.
As we all remember, games back then were simple 2D side-scrollers. Didn't really have a big complex story. Didn't need to keep you entertained. But the 3D revolution in gaming changed the entire way in which product-themed games would have to be presented to people in order to keep them entertained. The 3D revolution in gaming ultimately impacted the way in which companies would approach the topic. They decided that product placement would be the best way to go, considering that in a 3D environment you really can't push a product game too far with... Cool Spot was a great game in 2D, but as far as like a 3D environment with a potential story, gameplay would certainly lack. But if you ever played Sonic 2 for the Sega Dreamcast, you might notice billboards with the word soap on them. And that's actually because of a carefully negotiated deal between the soap shoe company and Sega. The Sega Dreamcast was one of the first consoles to really take advantage of product placement. If you ever played Crazy Taxi, you might notice that the entire game you're dropping people off at KFC or Pizza Hut. I never really noticed that until later in life. And now it just really makes me want KFC.
Let's move it.
Yeah. It's your lucky day.
Wow, I didn't expect you here so fast.
The Sega Dreamcast really represented the shift in gaming from when product-themed games were there to where products kind of slowly shifted into the background and become almost a subliminal recommendation for you to buy that chicken. I mean the item featured.
Every day, all over town, women have a question on their minds.
What should I serve for dinner tonight?
And every day, all over town, Colonel Sanders and his boys are cooking up the answer: Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Product placement in video gaming now is extremely commonplace. It's actually brought about even more creative ways in which game companies introduce products. If you ever played Battlefield 2142, you might remember there were billboards on the maps occasionally. But if you ever stop and look at them, you might notice that they actually changed every time. Different products were sold and advertised on these billboards. And later games had slight introductions of other products, like if you ever played Alan Wake, the battery he used was Energizer. And if you ever played Pikmin, you might notice that Duracell was occasionally in the game.
Alan, wake up.
Even though the golden age of product-themed games is over, still occasionally product-themed games do come out, like the Cabela series of games, and Burger King released a series of games, Sneak King and Pocket Racers.
You've always wondered, who's behind the mask? The answer is you.
Ever since the introduction of DVRs on many cable networks, the way in which advertisers push products to people has drastically shifted. Product placement in shows has become increasingly more important. So digital media and interactive media will be absolutely no different than this. So product placement within video games will only become more horrific, and at the very least more creative. Thank you for watching, hope you have a good day.
Come on, you're in a hurry, right?
KFC. I need it. Drive. No, that's out.
Come on.
It's not bad. That's sweet, sweet KFC chicken. I need your stuff. Alright. It's not bad. I need your stuff. Keep going. Your stuff. Could have gone faster.